Let's talk about why it is important to invest in your relationship. So in today's podcast, we're going to look at some ideas of how you can invest in your relationship and why dating is so important in your marriage. So stay tuned.
Hey, Bristol friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. I'm your girl, CC, and I'm joined by my hubby. What's up, babe?
What's up?
I'm good.
Everybody, this is Will, and welcome back. We're always glad to have you with us. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so we can notify you when we put out videos like this one. This is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, family, relationships. Y'all know what to do. Would know what to do here on this podcast. So yes, glad to have you back. Welcome back to the new month of September already. Yeah.
It is September.
Y'all, we have 4 months left until the new year. Yikes.
If there's something you needed to do, you haven't done it, you may be running out of time. So just get going and get started. Yeah, she's looking at me. A lot of stuff I need to do. So I have 4 months.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah. So before we get into the topic of the day, we always like to go into our blissful moment. So let's get into it. All right, so Cece, I know there's been a lot going on. So any blissful moments in the midst of all that stuff that's been happening?
Blissful moments for me. Let's see. It's just, things with the girls. Y'all know I love my girls. I'm always going to find ways. Lately, we've been very creative. We've been doing things around the house together. So we've been very creative about certain things, especially food when it comes to our dinner, to our lunch and breakfast. We've been very looking for ways to do things. I think that's a blissful moment for me because the kiddos are enjoying themselves, and I think that's great.
Yeah, that is. I just thought of something.
Okay. What is it?
My avocado tree has got some avocados. They're great avocados. In fact, it's not a whole lot because for some reason it hasn't been putting in a lot out for the last 7 years. This year it has some. But I have a terrorist who's been destroying my avocados. There's two little squirrels. My girls have given them names.
Brown eyes and something else.
Yeah.
What the other one's called.
This little thing has been terrorizing my avocado tree. So the other day I went out, there were like 5 decent avocados that they knocked down. But they take one bite and then knocked them out. Now we can't eat them. So, but I was able to get.
My mom. My mom said you still can eat them.
Okay, then I shouldn't have thrown those away.
Cut it off.
I don't know. This thing could potentially have rabies.
Knowing you,
but anyway,
you would not be
what we're saying that's bliss was that the avocado, although it hadn't been producing a lot of fruit, but this year I really got a taste of. I was reminded how good they could be because I was able to get a couple of them off the tree and we put them away and they become ripe and ready to eat. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So now I'm hoping the squirrels do not just knock out the rest of them. I think we have maybe 10 or 15 left on the tree.
Well.
No, I didn't physically count them. I'm just assuming because there's this whole thing in our culture that if you count the things off the tree, it's bad luck or something's gonna happen. So I didn't physically go and count them. I just assumed bits on what's there. But it's good. I mean, listen, we're fortunate enough to have that tree, and we're fortunate this year it has some. And listen, I know there's little things they need to eat, and they live off the land, and obviously the avocados on the land. But I like my avocados.
Yeah, there's been a lot on the ground. And I think, when the girls and I would go back there, we see them like, oh no, we're not going back there because we don't know what's back there. I mean, our backyard is clean, but yet we don't want to go see any I don't want to come across any reptile, anything that's gonna like, hey, what are you doing here? Because I'm like, listen, let this man come home and take care of and get his avocados. But I just remembered that one thing that I want to say too. Happy belated birthday to Isaiah last Saturday. He turned 10. Mm-hmm. This boy is a big boy now, double digits.
Our kids are growing.
My nephew, yes, he's 10 years old. So
our kids are growing. We're getting old.
Yeah, we are. So Isaiah, happy belated birthday. Even though we saw you last Saturday.
Yes, yes. Wish you many, 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 many more.
And stop growing, boy. Slow down.
Why would you want to stop growing?
He's almost the same height as my mom.
He doesn't want to be as short as you people are.
He's almost the same height.
He's going to be tall.
Like my nephews are so tall. My nephews are going to be taller than our daughters.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yes, and our daughter is older than them.
Yes.
And my nephew who just turned 10, he is taller than Burberry.
Yes.
So,
but you don't want to stop growing, you know.
Listen, y'all need to slow down, okay? I don't know what people did to y'all when y'all were born, but seriously, y'all, for real, listen. I'm still 25 for life, so. But I still want you guys to stop growing.
Anyway, enough of our blissful moments. So let's get into the topic of the day, which is the importance of dating.
Yes.
Investing time in your relationship, especially as a married couple.
Especially every woman is out here in them streets hustling and bustling.
Yes, it's important. Because, you know, sometimes we get caught up in the moments and we forget that we have to continue to work on our relationships. So.
I think, you know, for someone has been, you know, happily married for how many years, babe?
13. I got this number right. 13.
And how long together?
17 and a half years.
What was the half?
The half is that we haven't hit the anniversary month yet. Don't ask me.
We have already hit the anniversary month.
We did.
Yes,
okay, then it's 18.
About? Okay. All right, baby.
Isn't it? I have so much going on. I don't remember this specific time. But anyway, you know what? Life can get busy. And when we get busy, we can get caught up in stuff.
Yeah, and hustle and bustle.
Yes, the hustle and bustle. And you can easily put your marriage, you know, on the side while you focus on things that you think are more important. You know, we can become complacent. We become comfortable. And before we know it, we're barely hanging out with our spouse. Now, I hang out with you.
We haven't been hanging out.
We hang out on the podcast.
Now, let's be honest.
We hang out watching TV.
Y'all, this is work. That's not hanging out. We are recording together, but it doesn't mean we're hanging out.
We have fun.
Listen, let's be honest with our audience. We have our people that watch our podcast. We're going to be honest 100%.
Yeah.
We haven't been hanging out.
Well, we haven't been gone out on dates.
Okay.
But we hang out. We hang out in the house.
Y'all, we've been working and constantly is always something about either if it's business or if it's the kids, but nothing really about even movie night. Okay, we sitting here watching women and my husband are falling asleep. Like, how's this like us
hanging out?
Yeah.
Hanging out.
All right, baby. Right, that's your definition of hanging out. Hanging out, but I'll see. I get it.
Yeah, I mean it's important, and yes, if you let yourself get caught up in a lot of the things that we can get caught up on, yes, it becomes less time being spent out. Although I have it on my calendar to go out on a date once a month, I've skipped a couple of months, maybe more than a couple, but it's still on my calendar. And part of it is because of her. She got me doing other stuff.
Because of me.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's because of me.
You can see how I'm passing on the responsibility.
Yeah, I'll take the blame. Blame me. Okay.
But it's important. It's important however you look at it. Now although we may not be going out on dates, we try to do a lot of stuff together. Yes, it's business related. Yes, it's tied
work.
to work, but we don't neglect each other.
Right.
Where we physically I'm not going out on trips where I'm at weeks at a time and she barely sees me. No. We're together, yes. The purpose of hanging out is not just for having fun. We do it because we're trying to achieve something. But we have fun in the process.
I'm like, what? Not to having fun. Yes. If we're not having fun, then what are we? Like we
Well,
just
I
remained?
mean, listen, we have our weekly meetings, and that's usually not. I mean, it's business discussion. We're discussing what we need to do. Have we done it? Why didn't we do it? And she's taking notes. That's not having fun. That's just discussing things.
I just feel like I don't know. Whatever you want to call it.
It's hanging out. Couples hanging out.
Okay. No comments.
Yeah, but we're not at the place where we're considered roommates. We still do the things that couples do, and we hang out.
Yeah, like if you look at it, for some people, that's what it seems like. We just meet, we just talk, we only see each other when it's convenient for both of us, right?
But we see each other all the time. It's not a matter of convenience. We live in the same place.
It's convenient for when it comes to, no, there's when you put the time for us to really get together and talk about, hey, just talk about things, not business, not the kids, not parenting, not the things that we need to buy this weekend for the house.
And you should listen to her. And we could be anywhere. She's always got something business to add.
I try not to. When we're going on a date, I try not to. I really, really try not to, unless if it's a business date where we go out, when we go out and we discuss the plan for the month, which we have done in the past, where we go out and we'll just sat there and then we'll have our own little meeting there.
Yes, but she always got something to add.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, for some people that will consider that, when it's convenient for you, then we'll just meet up.
Yeah, listen. With all that said, however long you've been together, if you're not spending time with your spouse or your partner, your marriage could be at risk.
Of course.
Your relationship could be at risk.
Because one of us is suffering.
So it is crucial that you continue to invest. And I'm talking about find time to put in towards working on the relationship. And again, it doesn't matter how long you've been together. You have to continue to find time to date your partner. And this way, you can make sure that you're keeping that connection strong.
Yes.
You're keeping that connection going. I'm working on it.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So dating is important for a variety of reasons.
Yes, and I truly feel like one thing I always tell my husband, I love the idea of us to just get together, just the two of us, because we be busy and life be busy because we're not babies anymore. We're not kids anymore. Therefore, we are very, very much have a lot going on. So we do try to, and I'm always saying this, it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money for us to be out and doing things together. I'm always like, all right, babe, let's go by the park. Let's go by the beach. Because he knows how much I love being by the water, especially at night. Let's just go there and enjoy the time and be together, just the two of us. And to me, that's a big deal. That's a big thing. It's just, it doesn't have to be, let's go out, let's go pay for like $100 of, steak or lobster and be fancy. I'm all right with just, let's go for a walk and have ice cream. I'll fill myself up at home. Let's just go and have a good time by the water and then discuss our future together. That's not work, but that's talk.
But yeah, it's good to do that because it helps you keep the spark alive. It helps you keep growing together.
Yes.
And strengthen that bond that you initially made.
Yeah.
Because the reality in our relationship is if we let these things go, these little things that we can do, we find that we could potentially start falling out of love. The passion that we normally have towards each other, we start having less and less of that. So it's important that we take the time to do these things. And obviously sometimes some of us, we think it has to be something big. It has to be something that's extravagant.
Like yourself?
No, I don't do that. Yes, I do that sometimes. We have to think. There's
nothing wrong with that.
We tend to think that it has to be something big, but sometimes it's just getting out of the house. Now, some people like to hang out at home. Sometimes they get in their sweats and they relax.
I'm a businesswoman. I'm always in sweats.
And there's nothing wrong with liking hanging out at home. I mean, we're home buddies, but there's some value
We
in
are
getting,
very home buddies, for real.
yes, but there's some values in getting out of the home and doing things, and in our case, doing things that are not work related, where you can put away the phone, you can
Put away the laptop.
put away the laptop, don't take the tablet with you, and completely
iPad.
erase any thoughts about how we're gonna do this. No, just go ahead and relax and maybe tell some jokes and laugh and not talk about work.
I don't ever think, not one time we're together, whether if we're going to the groceries, whether if we're taking a drive with the kids, going to the park.
Yeah,
Not one time when I bring up business.
I don't know.
Because not one time when I bring up business.
Yeah, it happens, and that's something we have to be we have to get real good at, is to control the type of conversation that we have.
Right.
Because if we say we want to focus on us, we got to learn to keep certain things out. Now, granted, what we do is kind of part of us,
Yeah.
right? Because what we do, the things we engaged in, it becomes part of our lives. But we need to be able to separate what is.
Mm-hmm.
If this outing has nothing to do with production, then let's not bring production stuff in it.
There's a time I feel like, what are we talking about now? Should we talk about other people? Because I'm like, should we be talking about other people just so we can have a conversation? Should we talk about, the tea that's out?
I don't like to talk about other people.
You don't.
and obviously we're limited on some of the things we talk about. Like, I don't talk about sports. You don't care about sports.
I
I'm
do.
big in technology. You don't care about what's happening in
don't.
technology. Now, we can find environment, like there's a lot of motivational things we can talk about, but
Right.
sometimes this leads into talking about the things we want to
Business.
do and
Right.
how we want to do them. However, if we look back at before we were so caught up in these things that we're in right now, we had other things to talk about.
Yes, people.
Like lately we've been talking about our kids' education. That's
Yes.
been something,
Yes.
looking at what we could do and how to best raise them. That's non-business related.
Right.
But those were intense conversations.
Very much so. Very much.
But you'll find things. The key is that we have to be mindful of the type of conversation that we are having.
Yes.
Because you'll find these things, when they're part of your lives, our business are part of our lives. And we find every little things that we bring up, we can somehow relate it to business.
Yes.
I remember we were driving and I think I saw something and I started analyzing if we were to get in this type of business, and I'm like, we not in a business meeting. Why am I thinking this way?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so we definitely have something we need to get better at is control the type of conversation that we have and make sure that it's appropriate for whatever activities we engaged in. If it's non-business related, then don't talk about business.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree with, like you said earlier, no matter how strong you are as a couple, listen, if you stop investing in your relationship, you are going to suffer.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be, I think most of the time it's the wife, because if the wife wants to do a certain thing and the husband is like, I'm not into it, then there goes the marriage.
Yeah, and you're right. The marriage will suffer, and marriage is not one of these things that you said you did at the altar or wherever you got married, and that's it. It's a dynamic and active thing.
Right.
It changes, and it's a process that never ends. You have to keep working at it.
Yeah, you have to.
It's not one of those things you set it and it's done and it'll work itself out. No, you have to spend time.
And I think sometimes people fail to do that part.
Oh, yeah.
They get comfortable based on what we said earlier. They get comfortable. They're like, you know what? It's a routine. And, every morning, every day, this is what we do. Then it becomes like part of what we do. But then we forget how good we were when we were dating each other. And I think sometimes when people are in this hard time in their relationship, the best thing for you to do is sit back and start dating your spouse again.
Yeah. Start carving out time in your
Yes.
busy schedule to put a couple of hours here and there.
Yes, on
just
Sundays,
to go out and
like
chill.
have dinner together, or have lunch together, or drop the kids at grandparents or your friends, or if the kid's able to watch themselves, just as, hey, I'm taking mommy out for a couple hours, and I think that will make her feel so good. Like it will remind her how, wow, he still remembers me, or we still got it. I think that's important. Sometimes y'all don't be thinking like that.
Well, we got other things in our mind.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right. When it comes to dating your spouse and doing those little things that makes a difference in how they feel, you find your relationship would be much healthier. You'll be more happy. You'll be a lot better with each other.
Yeah.
Your bond will be a lot stronger. So, and you'll find your connection with each other as well will be a lot deeper. So
right.
It helps keep that thing that you started,
Yes,
the thing that you started your relationship on, which is that
fire,
spark.
that
keeps
butterfly.
it going.
That butterfly. One thing I do love when I wear certain dresses and my husband look at me like, you look good, babe. And that actually bring up the spark.
Makes me want to do stuff.
And sometimes I be like, whoa, because not all the time he says you look good you don't say it all the time. Let's be honest. You don't say it all the time, and it's okay because
I'm used to the good looking. It has to be extravagant for me to notice.
Oh, okay. You like, it's you. It's I don't have to say it, but prior when we put on a clothes that looks good, that makes you feel good, and hear your spouse saying how good you look, it makes you feel like extra good about what you put on. Sometimes men don't see it, where when we put on clothes, it's more so for you guys. It's not for us. Yes, we want to look good, and we out there, people are looking at us, we look fly. But as people are looking at, wow, look what he got. It's hot babes, So yeah, I don't be appreciating things sometimes.
I'll do better.
I'm just saying.
But hey, dating gives your spouse the opportunity to dress on purpose.
Yes.
To just go out and relax and chill. And helps you relieve those moments.
Yeah.
Because there are moments you've had when you were dating. If you let your marriage gets to the level of that comfort, you may not get to experience those as often. However, if you make it a point to date and go out, go to these places that either you've been before or new places that you haven't been, whatever you do that makes you feel special, do that. Because that allows you to focus on keeping yourselves happy.
Right.
And believe me, when you do this, not only your wife or your husband will feel better. It's happiness all over. Both of you guys will feel good. Because sometimes we think we're doing it for the other person, but we're doing it for ourselves as well.
Of course.
Because, when I take my wife out and I'm with her and the kids are not there, I feel younger, I have to look after the kids.
I feel like I still got it.
Yeah. And, and those are all traits of a healthy relationship and a growing relationship, is to be able to do these things and do them to keep that relationship going, to keep that happiness going. Because people would get unusual when things are not happening, especially ladies. There's certain things that they're used to when it's not happening. They start feeling a certain way.
Of course.
Yeah. So date to save your marriage. And do that by providing your spouse, by providing your partner reasons to feel like you're still connected, to feel like the bond that they've had with you is still there. Try new things together. Do things that makes you feel alive.
Yeah, that makes you
things
feel
that
young
makes
again.
You feel young again, yes. And believe me, dating is one of the ways to do that.
Yes. And I truly feel like when you are doing something that makes you feel young again, you feel like a kid at heart. You feel like, man, I feel like sometimes, what is this thing called? The dopamine, they call it. Some of us millennials have the social media dopamine, but I feel like
dating will give you that same rush.
Yes.
So date your partner.
For me, personally speaking, yes. It always does. Always. We could be going somewhere, wherever it is that you and I are together. Yes, it actually bring it back.
So whether you are newly married or have been married for a while, dating again can help reignite the fire that started it all out.
Yes, the butterfly.
Never felt those, but the butterfly.
You felt it, but you don't know what it means.
I don't know how to feel butterfly. So
It's the flutter in your heart, baby.
I have no idea what that feels like.
You're so weird.
But again, do what you need to do to reignite that spark, that fire, that butterfly, or whatever she calls it, that flutter. Is that the word?
Butterfly.
The flutter feeling,
Yeah.
the excitement,
Maybe
the romance.
yours could be the sweat.
The sweat. Whatever it is that
You was sweating on our wedding night.
yes, the sweat. So whatever it is that helps you that helps you feel special with your spouse,
Right.
dating will allow you to do that.
I agree.
And obviously it has to be a regular thing.
Yes, it has to be either once a month, because we have it on our calendar for once a month. We haven't been going. I think it's been a good 3 months since we've been on a date. Yes.
Our weekends have been busy.
Yeah, and he has something going on. I mean, and the only time you get off is Sunday, and we're trying to be not selfish, not to let you rest and be ready to go to work on Monday. So, and sometimes,
So I have good excuses.
So now, babe, let's go into the reasons why it's important to date your spouse. Because I'm thinking in the beginning you mentioned that we're going to share with
I
the
thought
audience.
I give like a bunch of reasons already.
Okay, so yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Well, let's tag in a few more reasons. The spark of life. I think I mentioned that earlier already.
Yes, you did.
It helps you keep the spark alive.
It does.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it 30 seconds ago. But that's how important it is. The spark has to keep, that fire, it has to keep burning. And if you let that fire go out, there goes your love.
Yeah.
So dating helps you keep that spark alive. It helps you keep that fire going. It helps you keep that relationship moving. It helps you keep making your partner feel good. And believe me, when they feel good, there's usually something else that happens right after, and you can enjoy that as well. So date your partner. First thing, keep that spark alive, try new things, and feel good. What? It's that. You have to.
I agree.
And you find when you spend time together with your partner, you get to talk about your feelings, you get to express your feeling. It helps you build yourself up. Sometimes you find in relationship there could easily be things that are misinterpreted, but when you take times in conversating and having dialogue with your partner, it helps you really understand their point of view, because we change over time. How I view things a year ago is different than how I view them now.
Right.
If I haven't been in constant communication with my wife and I, we can take time aside to talk about things. I could be acting up and her having no reason why I'm acting up.
Yeah.
Right. So it allows you to get to better understand your spouse viewpoints. And when you spend time together, you're more likely to get to know each other deeper.
Yes. Yes.
And there's no bottom when it comes to going deep. There's always more you can learn about your spouse.
Right.
Because remember, we are beings, we are people who change with time, with events in our lives. And if we can spend time together with each other, we'll get a chance to explore these things and be able to understand them better. This way we won't have to crucify our spouse when they start acting up. The one thing that dating each other, it allows us to really build up on our self-esteem, our sense of worthiness in the relationship. And obviously that comes with happiness as well. So when you date your spouse, you're investing time in the relationship, and this can help increase how good you feel about yourself, which in essence build your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because, when she dresses up and I say, gosh, you look good, she feels good.
Gooder.
Yeah. And it's always good. And believe me, when I wear there's one jacket, when I wear it, she just goes nuts.
I got it for you.
Yeah, when I wear it, she just goes nuts. So, but when I know she feels this way, and we going out, and she's right by my side, feeling important, those are things that boost your confidence. Absolutely. At one point, she referred to us as the power couple.
We are still power couple.
We are still power couple.
People have referred to us as power couple.
All right, then I guess we still maintain that title. So, but all these things, when you do this, it allows you to be in a position, in an environment, in outings with your partner where you can really make them feel good, make them feel confident in you and in themselves.
Yes.
And that's something dating does for you. Because remember, when ladies are going out on a date, they go all out. The eyelashes, the makeup, the jewelry, the dress, the shoes, the nails, the makeup before they leave the house, the makeup in the car, the makeup before they leave the car.
Oh my God, babe.
The trip to the powder room when you get to that place. All of these things are things that makes them feel good. He knows it really well. It's a process.
Yes, it is a process, and y'all gonna stick with the process.
Hey, listen, when you get to spend time with your spouse and your partner, it's a good thing. And
it's a good feeling.
It makes you feel valued. It makes you feel appreciated. Listen, as irritated as I may get sometimes that she have 5 different sessions of makeups, I understand. It's all in an effort to make sure that she feels and look spotless. Sometimes I wonder what changed from when we left the house to getting in the car.
Well, the sun, the sweat, the wind blow my face.
Even so, I'm bringing 2 shoes. There's a shoes that she has to put on, but that she can only walk for so long in it, and then she has to change.
Yes.
Listen, I get to carry the shoes, and I get to carry the purse, and I get to carry things inside my jacket pocket
because I can't carry a purse.
But you know what? We can laugh about these things when it's been a moment since but when we do, and I'm remembering this because it's an experience. But all that contributes to having fun. See, when things like this happen, we're not thinking about business,
right?
Because I'm thinking about what she's doing and how much of it she's doing. But all this thing contributes to the fun we have. And yes, we talk about it, and she'll shut me up.
Yes, I will.
And so all of these things, when you do them with your partner, you can still have fun.
Right.
And now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I want to go out on a date tomorrow.
Oh, let's do it, babe.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going on a date this weekend.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know if we did or not.
So when you spend time with your spouse this much and you can have this much fun together, the likelihood of you getting to a point where you says, I don't want to be with you anymore is almost non-existent.
True.
Now, some of us can decide and go and do something crazy, and the other partner says, I don't want you anymore. But if you don't go and do anything crazy, but you're really investing the time and doing these things together so you can enjoy the time with your partner, divorce is out of the way.
True. Absolutely.
It's out of the way. Yes, there are some things that are inevitable. But if you don't intend to do craziness, you'll be with your partner for the rest of your life. Because if your goal is to always find ways, invest in time to really enjoy your time with your partner, it doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are, whether you're still healthy, you would always find ways to enjoy your time with your partner.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, because remember, there's an expression that says, happy wife,
happy life.
Happy life.
Yes.
I would say happy wife, happy marriage. Happy wife, long life.
That is true. Yes.
Yes. It's all this because, believe me, if a woman's not happy with you, she's probably going to leave you soon. Yes. She may put up with it for some time.
But when the time
But if nothing changes, now, this generation, and I'll throw this in, the millennials, probably the generation prior will just stick it out.
Yeah.
But women these days, if they're not happy with you,
they gone.
You on borrowed time.
You better make it work.
Yes. Yeah, you on borrowed time. So yes, you find if you're doing these things to keep your spouse happy, men also, if they're not happy with you, they're leaving.
Yeah.
So don't give the guys a hard time.
The millennials like, you're not doing what I want you to do, I'm out. It doesn't matter how long we've been married. But I think also it depends on the culture, because millennial in certain cultures is still sticking it out. They're still going to find a way to work it out.
I don't know how long that will take, because I tell you, people these days, I mean, we're living in an environment where people are aware of what should be and how things should be.
Right.
And they're very in their feelings. If someone's not happy with something, yes, they may stick around for a little bit to see if they can make it work. But eventually they're going to say,
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
It's not worth it.
It's so easy to get into depression. And I would say no one should. And even if they didn't want to, they'll go to some mental stuff where they just won't be fit to be able to stay in a relationship. So do the things to keep your partner happy. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to accept every craziness your partner do.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff that you need to call them out.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Call him out his stuff.
if you do these things, if you
it's
date your
strong
partner
enough.
to keep them happy, you will never have to worry about them leaving you. Now, for those of us who have children or who plan on having children, doing the things that keeps your marriage together sets good examples for your children.
Absolutely.
Right? Although I haven't done that in a while, but typically when my kids says that we're dressed up and we putting them in the car, we're about to drop them off at grandma, they know that we're going out on a date. So,
Oh, your sister come over and watch them.
or my sister, when she was younger, used to come over to watch them. Now she's grown, but
Okay, you gotta check with her
she's
first.
grown. She graduated from nursing last May, so she's getting her grown up job now. So she is grown. But you know, when they pack them up to take them to grandma or my in-laws or my sister come by, they know that we're going out on a date.
Right.
And they'll even come out and compliment us on how we look. So our children get to see what we do
Yeah.
to keep each other happy. They get to see how happy we are with each other. Those are a great example for children. If they're growing on a household where they get to witness their parents, they also learn what it means to love and how love is carried out. Because obviously, hey, listen, they know if we're about to do a little smooshy, they
Close
know,
their eyes.
it's because of you. She told them to close their eyes.
I didn't. Come
I mean,
on,
I'm
baby.
like, you want to watch me kiss your mom?
That.
Watch me kiss your mom.
do that. It's just that's what kids do. Like it's just like something that a kid does. And I don't tell them close your eyes. They even when they're watching a movie, they see it happen, and they not. I'm talking about cartoon movies, y'all, like Disney movies, right?
So
Even
that
if
makes
they
Disney movies
see-
are just clean?
They're not clean. I'm just saying. Even if they're watching a Disney movie and they see these little things about to
Kiss.
do whatever, and
Yeah.
they're like, close their eyes, because it's just, I guess, a mind
You
thing.
sure you didn't tell them that?
Of course not.
Okay. So they get to see what we do, and
Yeah,
they
because
know when we're going out on a date.
Yeah, and the kids are constantly watching their parents and see what we do. Yeah.
So for those again who have children, do the things that they can see, because especially those who have girls. Actually, it doesn't matter if you have girls or boys, because boys will learn how to behave when you're a man, and girls would learn what to expect from a man and how to behave when you're a lady.
Well, yeah. So the differences between us, they see how you treat me, and they expect to be treated like that when they get older. So
Yes.
if you treated me wrong, they thinking that, oh, this is how when I get older, I'm supposed to be treated by some dude.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if they see that you are opening doors and you are carrying on very, very well, you treating me like the queen that I am. So therefore, they will be expecting that when they get older. Same thing goes for the differences with the man, with the kids, with the boys, is how their dad treat their mom. Like when I get older, I want to make sure I treat my wife like that or better.
Yeah, it's setting good examples. So
Right.
if as a parent you're miserable and your relationship is dysfunctional, your children will pick up on that.
Yes. Yes.
And will most likely start behaving exactly the way you are.
Yeah.
Not just as children, they'll carry those behaviors in
Yes.
their older
Future.
days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think of who's watching you and what example that you're setting. Dating, going out on a date, and be upfront. Let them know what you're doing. Because your kids understand mommy and daddy spend time together because it's important. So don't hide it and says it's none of your business. We grown up, we going out. No, don't be that way.
Some parents will do that. Like,
you can let the kids know I'm going on a date, and they'll probably ask what date is. You say the special time mommy and daddy spend together when we do stuff that mommy and daddy do.
Yeah, and we don't go that far into it. We don't go that far.
Well, there's some details you can leave out.
Yeah, there's some details that you can, but
yeah, but they know mommy and daddy. Our kids know mommy and daddy spend special time together.
Yes.
And they know that. When you do these things around your children, it benefits the whole family.
Right.
Not just your partner.
Yeah.
It helps your children really understand what it means to be in a relationship,
right,
and how mommy should be treated, and also how daddy should be treated. Because there's some women that are very unusual out there, and they'll mistreat their men.
That is true. But not here.
That's me speaking for the man. But you know, display the right example.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, your children will pick up on it. And most likely, they will do the same when they get older. And I say most likely because some children are just the way they are.
Right.
And they'll just do whatever they want to do.
Yes.
But you know what? Dating is important. It's important because it helps you keep the spark alive in your marriage.
Yes.
It allows you to spend more time together. It allows you to understand each other better. Mm-hmm. It allows you to really get to express feelings about certain things that's happening in the settings where you guys can really share and understand and give inputs on what's going on with each other. So don't miss the opportunity to do the right things for your relationship, which is to really take some time and spend it with your spouse.
Yes.
Again, as Cece mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be expensive things that you do, go to fancy and expensive place to
maybe once a year or twice a year. You can dedicate. Maybe sometime it may be a walk on the beach. Like she likes going on the beach at night. I don't know who wants to go to the beach at night, but she likes to go to the beach at night. So if that's the case, carve some time out. And it's best to schedule things, because if you don't, like for me, if I don't have something on the schedule, I won't do it. Sometimes it's on the schedule, I still don't do it. So it's important. So if you're like me, maybe put it in like 3 different places in your calendar so you can have a contingency plan. If this doesn't work, I'm going to pick it up on that day. But it's important to write it down somewhere where you know that, okay, on that day, I'm going to do this. Because at the end of the day, what you find is very easy not to do things. Because you would always find reasons or things that gets in the way if you don't plan around doing things. So find a moment, invest in the time to do things with your partner. Yes.
And it doesn't matter how long you've been married. It doesn't matter if it seems like your partner is okay with it. Any partner in any relationship always want time for you together. Yes. So Cece hasn't been complaining. Well, she has been complaining. But I know it's important, and I'm working on it. So if you're someone like me, work on it to make sure that you can have these things, you can get to do these things with your spouse. Because as I mentioned to you guys in several podcasts in the past, my intentions is to go old with this woman, which means I'm going to do what I need to do. So guys, this is our podcast on how important it is to date your partner.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you guys sticking around until the end of this podcast. If you haven't been dating your partner, please make plans so you can start dating your partner.
Yes.
And even if you're not married yet, if you're in a relationship where you guys have been together and you kind of get into the place of complacency, make time to date each other.
I agree.
So please remember to share, like, and subscribe to our podcast. We appreciate all of you guys who have been supporting us. Please remember to hit on that notification bell wherever it is on the screen so you can be notified when videos like this come out. Again, this podcast come out every Saturday. We talk only about relationship. And on that note, we'll see you guys. Peace.